Mm. Good evening, ladybugs and yellow jackets. Welcome to this week's episode of FAE News here on FAE Productions. I am your host tonight, Fairy Princess Lolly, and I am here with Eye on the Leprechaun.
I diddly do.
And Princess Count Morbid.
Wow.
Princess Count Morbid.
And Baroness Still Dorian Gale in the I feel like you guys need to, I don't know, we need something to happen here. Like there. We need the darkness to be divided. You can't get you guys all on the same team.
Yeah, by the way, I love your super clear directions of something needs to happen here. That really cleared up all the mysteries of the universe for me. That
well, it only
really
needed to be clear to me.
Exactly.
StormiFae.
Hi.
And Flora the Fairy.
Hi.
And Phoenix Rainbow Light.
Hello, hello. That one there, yes.
Yep. So there we go. I'm sorry I'm so mundane. I went to see the healer this week, and you guys don't want to see this portion of my body here, so I am covered up. And this is all I had for the cover.
I mean, that's true all the time, but
I want to see immediately.
I'm curious. What does the healer do to that part of your body?
Oh, wait. Well, I can show you the side of my face if you want to see that. It's kind of gruesome, though. I don't know.
Yes.
I feel like it needs to come with a warning for everybody to look away.
This might make you squeamish if you don't like things that look here.
If you're eating dinner, look away.
I never want to see your face.
So has spoken Princess Morbid.
Now we're all even.
Wait! Is Phoenix my herald now? Is that what just happened?
Yeah, apparently.
Nope. I just holler for anybody who leaves and enters and exits the room. That's all. Any royalty, I just yell. I like to shout.
If you leave me next
Hey.
But Phoenix is always so excited about royalty as a herald. It's any royalty is a reason for Phoenix to shout some more. Is that what I'm hearing?
That's the point. Yes, yeah. Any excuse to yell.
Hey,
Well,
Just give me a reason. I'll give you the voice. I swear.
hey, what's your case? What are we doing to the bell?
Yes, that's about what I was gonna get to. So
Shouting at the
thank
bell.
you. Yes. No.
I'll let
Today
you know what we're doing to the bell. Oh,
we're gonna fall
That's
back
right,
the
we
bell
changed it.
because it was the clock thing.
The time has no meaning, so why do we even bother?
That's how I feel about it. But
So
We
you
like
thought
to
that was
see
better?
people get into car wrecks in the spring, so we, put time forward. Yes.
yes.
So
So tonight
You
we're
thought that was better than the other suggestion, then?
it was so much better than the other suggestion. So yes, fall back the bell if you want to get notifications of our upcoming shows. And so tonight, even though I couldn't find where the scroll went, like I have another agenda this evening. I'm very proud of myself for this. How did you all get out of order?
You turned on.
You put us out of order.
Morbid.
Oh, good. I was gonna get cooties from him.
Weird. There.
Hey, Flora, what's up with you? How are
Having
you?
fun changing everybody
How are you?
around.
cuddle
Just
buddy.
scoot away. Yeah, we're just gonna scoot away from the Morbid for a second here. Oh, good, he's gone. Okay, oh no, he's back.
Is that your actual hair growing back, Count Morbid, or is that painted onto your head?
A little bit of
Look,
both.
we'll just show everyone the matching. Look.
I mean, I shed enough for both of you. I'll just start making.
Just
Just start making one.
don't
And
give
for those
Morbid
of you
your hair.
wondering, the carpet does match the drapes.
No one was wondering that.
Yeah. I mean, not
Are you suggesting that the Morbid drapes are anatomically correct? Is that what you were suggesting?
It is not past 8:30.
That
I was
actually
gonna
is not
say-
what that phrase means.
I mean, in certain worlds it can be.
I'm dying.
No?
I'm dead.
No,
No,
you know what? Who's about to die? You know who's about to die tonight? Anybody who got one of these. You're
Yeah,
all
well,
about to die. It's gonna be
we're not
an
to
interesting
that part of
scenario.
the show yet.
You guys can.
That is
Don't
not
tease
next
me.
on the agenda. The
I don't even know if
first,
I can watch you guys do that.
I'm just going to read the agenda right now. The first thing on the agenda for this evening is a reminder for all of you out there of this month's special, which is if you pledge your upgrade in, I know it says September, but it's actually November. But this month you get a free hand-painted fairy postcard. Yeah, like a little mini fairy painting. So I wanted to throw that out there. Oops, no. And then also next on the agenda is this, which I'm very excited about. And I just put up, there's the little link in the low bar there for you guys as well as in the ticker. But we just put out on Patreon today the announcement of our Faesgiving Cornucopia, and that's taking place in Silverdale, Washington. It's in person, and through the creative genius of Flora and myself, we have decided that it is going to be a fairy finger food Faesgiving. So, all finger foods. It will be excellent.
So there's going to be lots of fingering there?
Lots of, yes. I'm not, yes.
Thank you,
That's
Flora.
what's going to happen.
You're welcome.
Doing all
And
the-
yet-
I was gonna say I wish I had known that beforehand because I was at Michael's and because they had Halloween clearance, they did have finger molds. They had molds so that you could have like finger like, I mean not popsicles, but like
Go get one, Cal Morbid.
Gelatin kind of things or whatever.
By the way, I was going to say that I'm sad that I missed a bunch of the Halloween clearance sales. Like I didn't get to a Target in time, but Michael's some of the Michael's, like of the 3 or 4 that I've gone to, some of them still have Halloween stuff.
You're so urbane.
Yes. I know what urbane means. Yes.
You're
I
so
do too.
urbane.
Oh no, by the
Did
way,
you think
sorry.
that I didn't think? I mean, you're probably
No. Actually, Lolly, this is not at you. I was once at a thing and I used the word urbane in a sentence.
Uh-oh.
And somebody went, well, I think it's pronounced urban. And I just stared at them and I'm like, no, those are 2 different words. And he's like, what does urbane mean? And I just looked at him and he said, urbane means knows what urbane means. Which in the context I felt was valid.
Oh boy.
I think you mean urban? No, I do not.
It's like autocorrect trying to tell you what you're trying to say, even though you spelled the word right.
Oh, no, it was
on this.
the condescension that really just got me. It was the
What do you mean?
self-assuredness, like, aha, I have caught you. And I'm like,
No, actually, you have it. Like not even close. The sheer disdain in your voice on this particular topic actually makes me happy.
it's not named at you? Yeah.
No, that you're all pretentious over words. I actually appreciate that.
I'm gonna agree with Stormy though. Autocorrect is one of the most horrible things that has ever been created. I love when like my friend Bernard, I was trying to say his name into talk to text and it kept coming up burnt fart. I was like, that is not what I'm trying to say. Bernard, burnt fart. I'm like, ah.
Your ears went back when you screamed. Ah.
Well, that's how I became very Princess Lolly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or autocorrect is also why I once texted my mother that it was my very bottom weekend.
What does that mean?
Fairy blossom.
That was autocorrect's version of fairy blossom. Like, oh, I'm going to my fairy blossom weekend.
It's my
like,
very bottom weekend.
Yeah.
Who's coming down to Florida with me?
Yeah.
Our events sound very entertaining.
It does.
I'm just saying,
Anyway.
if you're heading all the way down to Florida, you better be enjoying the beach and not spending your entire time in a hotel room. Just
By the way, this weekend I'm planning to visit the farm and my parents, Beverly and Bird Fart.
bird fart.
Or that's what you said it was, right? The autocorrect?
Oh, burnt fart. Burnt fart.
Oh, burnt fart. I'm sorry.
Burnt fart would probably also come up. Yeah.
My parents Beverly and burnt fart. Not bad.
Oh man.
Wow.
That's good.
Okay, so we know now that Count Morbid wasn't hatched. I guess that's a good thing. I mean, I'm just saying. So yes, so
I was dropped on my head as a child, but I turned out fine.
The other thing about Faesgiving is that it's going to be a reverse gift giving, because we sort of lumped Thanksgiving and goodbye, Flora.
I'm right here.
Not Flora, whoever just
Ion.
I know they look exactly alike.
Everybody moved around, and I thought it was Flora that left.
They both have green and white shirt, green background, white shirt.
I'm just saying, it's going to be a reverse gift giving.
The top hat, that's how you can really tell.
Quick, Flora, tell us if Pluto's a planet.
None of you guys are my friends anymore. I fire all of you.
They're there.
Yeah, so I'm very excited because I have a whole, I've been collecting a whole bunch of things to wrap up as white elephant gifts so that you guys can fight each other and trade for them. You can trade for them.
By the way,
she doesn't want you to trade. She wants you to fight for him. We'll just be honest. I'm sorry. We get more ratings. It's just
because
true.
it came up at my haunt one because somebody tried to explain that Krampus was a reverse Santa. And I said, no, reverse Santa sounds like a sex position.
Wow.
Like, have you ever tried the reverse Santa?
Ho, ho, ho.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Oh, my God. It's not 8:30 yet for you guys.
That's how you get your holly jollies off.
Oh, man. No. What is happening right now?
I'm dying.
Morbid's back. That's what's happening right now.
Well, we have to have Ion come back to the show because, in fact, we do have the CLAMonaise tasting, and he has to be part of that.
Great.
So
I'm going to eat my
probably why he
tiramisu thing.
Yours looks so much better than this white whatever this is supposed to be.
Did you make a mayonnaise parfait? What the hell is that?
It's tiramisu.
Mayonnaise.
It looks like the Costco tiramisu.
That's exactly what it is.
Oh, I love the little glasses. They make perfect little shot glasses for my espresso machine.
I keep
You get the little glass
Don't
there?
they? They're awesome. I agree.
I put snacks in them.
I do too.
Yeah, they're perfect like espresso.
I mean, and they're perfect for like little kid glasses,
You know,
or if
you
you're
just
just wanting a
one
small
for
amount of
yourself.
juice.
One for your
The
caramel
juice in
macchiato,
your-
one for yourself.
Never drink that little of anything.
Stormy. Spirit fingers. Spirit fingers.
That was
It does
really
not
strange.
Save the fingering for this weekend. Next weekend.
It's like prom night.
What was that comment about Clement?
Oh my God, I'm gonna
Night.
get abs from
Oh, no.
laughing so much tonight.
Wait, what kind of clam mayo
Lol.
is it? Is it bearded clam or
The bearded clam.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm done with you guys.
That sounds like the name of a D&D brothel. I'm just being honest. Welcome to the bearded clam. We have every assortment you be looking for.
I'm pretty sure I read a raunchy romance that had a pub named
Yeah, I feel like
that.
that one's definitely been done. For sure. I can't breathe.
You can find a bearded clam in every port city. Arr.
No, so
No.
By the way, it's super, super, super weird to me that Phoenix does not know what this is slang for. Shocking to me. Just
wait a minute.
You
I'm
don't?
pretty sure Phoenix knows what bearded clam is slang for.
I'm pretty sure as well, or else I wouldn't be talking about brothels. But
Just because he doesn't hang out with them doesn't mean he doesn't know what they are.
I mean, I associate, but you know,
He doesn't partake.
I can't say yes because I can't say other words until after it's 8:30. I do have a limit. I'll
Oh,
None for him. Surprising.
Oh, goodness.
hey, do you partake of the clam? That sounds like a horrible way. Like, okay, so I'm just thinking like back in like the 60s and everything, like if you didn't know if somebody was actually Gyarados, I guess you were supposed to say, "Do you know my friend Dorothy?" And that was the key of like, "Hey, I'm into this. Are you into this?" And so I'm just wondering, like, is that the opposite for the lesbians back in that day? Was it, "Do you partake in the clam?" Like, I'm just wondering.
I really hope somebody writes a novel based on that now.
Do you partake in
what? Wait, based on what? Because we
name
on
it
a
could be
scale
called
of
the
1 to
clam
Flora.
partaking.
Because I will remind you.
Oh my god.
Clammy dick. Oh yes, it's time for your weekly reading, Lolly. Go ahead and pull from a random chapter.
Hey, look, there's an anything else.
There's an agenda. We have an agenda.
An agenda?
Yeah, we do. We have an agenda. It's right here.
It's on it?
Wait, is this the gay agenda that I keep hearing about?
You'll know when it's time.
This is the agenda for us to usurp Christmas with Yuletide and Yule Cat sock exchanges. Also, I read more of Clammy Dick to Ion while he was making dinner last week after the show, and basically it was just it's so clam filled that it's pretty much incomprehensible. Like it was just nonsense. It was so much of it. It's like it was so hard to understand. It was, yeah. I mean, I think that we determined that the big soup or something was the word for the ocean. I don't know. Yeah. So I'm just letting you know.
You should keep it all to yourself and just be shellfish about it.
Mm-hmm. You know what? I wish you would just seal your lips.
No.
Keep your moisture closed.
Your moisture oyster while you licky the clicky.
All of our horrible past magic words for the week. Okay, so the next thing on the agenda actually is Flora's gossip.
Flora's gossip hour.
Is this going to be entirely gossip about chickens?
Yes.
The creme brulee isn't as good, though.
It's not?
No.
Sad.
What?
It made me sad.
I'm still going to have to try it, though.
You do.
How did you guys get from Flora's gossip to creme brulee?
I know.
Comments.
Oh.
Creme brulee is my favorite.
Me too. It's my all-time favorite.
My favorite dessert.
Stop it. I'm hungry.
Eat some of that mayonnaise.
I don't know. I made something really interesting last night. I didn't think that it was going to be good, but it turned out to be amazing.
No, it's Flora's gossip hour.
It is Flora's gossip hour.
Why am I embiggened? I don't need to be embiggened for gossip.
At least put the rest of us on the rim.
Yeah, please.
We know what you look like.
Okay, Flora, gossip, go.
Okay, so I heard Arowena and the rest of them went to go to a place, which name has escaped me, to
one
see
place.
if they can find more clues to open the gate.
Well, I don't know. It's your gossip.
That's all I know. Well, where's Ion to tell us about it?
Ion said he was having technical difficulties.
Well,
Here,
fine then. Fenix, can I airdrop this scroll to you because the internet?
You're gonna start throwing things at me? What? Why? Why would you throw things?
Just read this for me.
Just read this.
Oh, okay, there it goes. Found it. All right, hold on. Hold on. Let me.
Story Bloop.
Away with the fire eyes and my actual eyes that let me see things in the real world. Hold on. Alrighty, so. Oh, is this? I see. Yes. So you're referring to, what was it? The East Gate?
Yes.
That they went to, I believe it was.
Great.
Yeah, and
The
so.
East Gate is in the city of Findius.
That's the place. I know it started with an F.
F is for Flora. F is for Phineas. This is how I remember
Flora had
things.
no more F's to give.
No more
I can
F's.
make more, and then I keep them in a jar, and I can throw them at people.
Flora has
Okay, so from reading this, it looks like it's revolving around our wheel that we have, and thus the wheel was hidden so that it might continue to turn, but the power of the creatures, or I cannot read when my glasses don't want to work right. Hold on. I'm trying to also look on my magic mirror of brokenness. So hold on. Yes, creatures of metal, the Faebroch. I cannot say their names. I apologize, you wonderful creatures. I cannot say your name.
Spell it.
Firbolgh. Faebroch.
Furbolg.
Or Furbolg.
Furbies?
Furball.
I don't know if I'm saying it right either.
Furbies are pretty frightening, I will confess.
I want to play that race.
But the creatures of metal, they were great, and they found the wheel. Their King Surge, who was King Surge, yeah, waged a great battle, but the giants protected the wheel. Stay still. Sorry, I'm having technical difficulties.
With your eyeballs?
with the magic mirror that doesn't want to stay still. One by one, each wedge of the great wheel was hidden, bringing the seasons to a halt in the dead, long winter. But with hope. Thus it is said that the magic of the four elements and all their creatures and kin trickle from the world. Makes sense why we all left, but we're back now.
We're back
now. Is that it?
No, I'm trying to read. Hold on. My magic mirror has this wonderful setting where if you try to embiggen something, after 5 seconds, it goes back to small.
That would be wonderful.
I have to re-embiggen to actually see what I'm trying to do.
That's so aggravating.
Love that for you.
I don't know why humans make things so complicated. If I make things big and it should stay big until I'm done.
It sounds like it was goblin made, to be honest.
I think some of the technology very much is.
Let's see here. Motorola. That does sound like a goblin name, yes.
What?
Constricted. The name of my beautiful magic mirror is a Motorola. That does sound like a goblin name, yes.
Yes.
Constricted until the end of days, seasons turn freely once more. And we have seen that happen since we have started to claim more of our wedges. Seasons have started to turn more.
By the way, I also sent in some pictures of scary Furbies.
Let's see here. The last part here is that it was from the giant lore keeper Mangal clan. I'm not sure who the Mangal clan is. Magell clan? Anyone aware of that?
Mago?
Miguel?
Miguel?
The Miguel clan? It is the Miguel clan, yes. We'll go with that.
No.
Let's see here. As the murk of days slowly begin to lengthen, the new record stone record stone is found to use in the coming year.
I'm only laughing because I can't read either.
Why do you think I passed it over to somebody else?
The giant family gathers around the stone and uses it as a table. Serves a rich feast upon it.
To serve mankind.
Probably. That's what they're cooking for dinner. Why not? Yeah. How do you think they make their bread? A glyph of the feast is an incredible, stop shrinking on me. Sorry.
That's what she said.
Not wrong. Then inscribed on the record stone, communicating is the first event of the year. Alrighty. Oh, commemorating, excuse me. That is very different from communicating, everybody. Let's commemorate the first of the year. Although we should also talk at the first of the year. Come on, how you been this year? Was it good? Was it bad?
Well, we're not even at that part yet.
Soon.
Well, where did
Yes.
Ion was just here. Where did he go?
He's having stability problems. So am I, but not with my connection.
It's the Morbid story.
Yeah.
Stability problems. The Count
I'm
Morbid
having
story.
stability problems.
Can we get a synopsis of what that gossip was?
Some stuff happened with a table and Furbies.
So
Okay.
if I'm understanding this correctly, what it's referring to is the fact that the pieces that we've been collecting for the wheel have actually been around a lot longer than we anticipated it to be. It looks like the giants were the ones protecting the wheel for a while, but then eventually had to break them up into pieces, which is why we got stuck in our long winter to begin with. I mean, I'm happy that we're finally starting to get out of the long winter because that's what allowed me to get here to start spreading some magic, but it's very interesting.
Glittery, sparkly magic.
Sparkly magic. see all the rainbows behind me? Phoenix
know.
rainbow light.
Even Stormy loves sparkly magic.
You should see
What do you mean
his house.
even?
Proof that the unseelie like more than just the color black.
True. I mean, glitter is
mean-
considered chaos to a lot of people.
We like purple too.
I was gonna say we also like purple.
I am totally up to have an episode where we just see Stormy's house. I'm down. Sounds like a good episode. Look at those eyes. You just told us we should see your house, and now you're like, "What did I do?"
Can I clean it first?
No.
You
Leave
have
the
a week.
glitter though. That's
You have a
safe.
week.
Just
This is
everywhere.
Stormy in a natural habitat.
So, as another question, not only did Flora decide to throw things at me virtually, but she also threw something the long way to me, and maybe I should open it on
You
screen.
should.
Does anyone think that'd be cool? Yeah, yeah.
No.
I think that if you want to have things that are put onto the agenda, you need to tell the internet imp ahead of time so that they can have it all typed up.
Yes, we all know that very Princess Lolly wants things to be organized and stay on time. So
Precisely.
next time-
That's why I'm Sealy and you're not.
She wants it to, but very rarely does it happen.
What? All right. Fine.
But
Open it.
there's bigger than.
Open it.
No, I just dropped the note. Hold on.
How dare you?
I'm going to disappear for a second, everybody. Okay, I'm back. I'm back. Okay, so let's see her. Let's see what her note says first, because that's always the best
Well,
part.
it's not.
Ready?
It's human lingo, so you can save that for later.
Throw that over there. Okay.
Oh, is that Ion? Is he back?
No.
Yes.
He's back during my big unveiling. Jeez,
Sort of.
he's back just in time. Okay, let's see her. Drum roll, everybody.
What if you don't like it?
I love it. Oh my god. I haven't even actually looked at it. I'm looking at it from my camera here, but look at that. Oh my god.
I made
Is that
that.
a cod piece?
Oh, it's
It's
so
a fox.
cute. It's a little fox little bag I could throw like crystals or something in. Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah.
Ah,
Wish the cat one.
I love it. This is amazing. Thank you, Flora.
You're
Oh,
welcome.
That's
thank
so
you.
awesome.
So
No,
cute.
this is super cool. Thank you so much. Oh, no, that's exactly what I'm going to use it for. It's going to hold crystals. That's
Oh,
great.
good.
Thank
I
you.
love it.
Oh,
You're very welcome.
That was very cute.
Now I want to send you all stuff to open. I like
Okay,
that.
okay, you guys. What? Oh,
And they do it.
I'm pretty sure no one will say no.
ew.
Sorry, presents.
Oh, so Ion is back. You can ask him about what happened there.
What happened?
Laura can ask Ion about what
You're gonna have to
happened.
be slightly more specific than that.
We're gonna need some nouns.
What happened?
How did she forget?
What happened
all
with
of
that
it? She
thing?
was like, what?
That is why I wait. Because y'all talk over me.
My,
That's you just
My
have to say
interocitor
the
had
words on
some
end and get
connection
them in
problems, so-
edgewise, okay?
No.
Other than now, I have been quiet waiting.
Well, thank you, Phoenix. But only because I bribed you to shut the f- up.
I am a little
Okay.
busy trying to open the notes.
What happened? What happened in the city, and what were you guys searching for? And did you find clues?
So yeah, at the last gather, there were aside from me, there was Professor Greenman, Rainwolf, and Erwinna, and we went to Findias, the city of the south, to well, they said they were there to etch the glyph that's on the door, but then some exploring happened after that. In particular, we found these shops, and because we got this letter from some sort of giant lorekeeper guy that indicated that one of the things that they do is have some sort of record-keeping table that they eat a meal on, and they put a glyph on, carve a glyph into that. We searched for tools to do that to some stone. So, and I think we found a chisel. I think that's the tool we found.
What were you searching for a chisel for?
I'm gonna guess the chisel thing.
In a letter that was sent by a giant lorekeeper.
That's the one that Phoenix just read, right?
Mm-hmm.
Again, I was not here because of technical difficulties.
Speaking of technical difficulties, he has done Frozen. Come back! We need more lore.
Wake up!
Okay. Well, okay, so he's having technical difficulties, which is kind of ironic since he's sort of the sciencey one, right?
Wait,
but
sorry. Quick troubleshooting. Have you tried turning your Leprechaun on and off?
I don't think that means what you think it means. So we have
I mean,
it's at least after 8 o'clock.
It's after. Yeah.
What does Dorian have?
10:13.
What does Dorian
has
have?
a thing.
Stop interrupting
Dorian
me.
has a tiny, cute creature that needs to be brought closer to the screen.
Let me pet it.
No.
He's so cute.
Okay, so we have our author here with us this evening since it is almost 8:15.
Hello, hello.
Yes. Welcome to the show. We will circle back to Ion when we are done with our next segment because obviously technical difficulties. But welcome to the show, Anna.
Thank you.
Yes,
Great to be here.
It is a pleasure to have you. Please, if you will, introduce yourself to our audience and tell us who you are and what you write.
Sure. So my name is Anna J Steward. That's what I write under. I'm a romance author, actually. I write sweet to spicy romance. I don't write super hot. I tend to write more sweet, close the door kind of stuff. But I've written over 50 books so far since 2014. And I'm primarily published with Harlequin and also with Arc Manor's new Kasich romance line.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, so where are you out of, if you don't mind my asking?
Oh, sure. I'm in Sacramento, California.
And okay, so you're on the left coast with all the rest of us. Yeah.
Yes, I'm on the same coast.
So we're all in the same time zone too. That makes it easier for you. So how did you get into doing this then?
I kind of fell into it in high school back in the 80s. And a lot of my friends and I started writing what now we would look back on as fan fiction. Where we would write like little mini romances featuring ourselves and our favorite rock stars of the time, music stars or whatever.
Yeah.
Love it.
So everybody else grew out of it and I didn't. And it coincided with me reading my first romance novel. And as soon as I finished romance novel, I'm like, I've got to figure out how to do this. This is what I want to do. I want to give people an escape between the pages. And when they close it, it's a happily ever after. And then they're on to the next book. I wanted to know how to do that. So it took me a while to get there, but I got there eventually.
Well, that is, I like the fact that it developed out of sort of the precursor to fanfic because I like reading fanfic. Actually, the hilarious things that sometimes people come up with on their own are pretty amusing. So not to say that yours was particularly like one thing or the other. I just sometimes fanfic really amuses me. So.
Oh yeah, I always find it very, very interesting who people pair people up with. And I love it when you're at a fan convention and somebody gets up to ask one of the actors about the fan fiction or the slash fiction or whatever, and the actors literally most of the time do not know what to say. And it's just hysterical to me. So I'm like, you guys did it. You put the ideas in their head. So
there's actually a growing amount of actors these days who are like, oh God, that's amazing. Like I think Michael Sheen and David Tennant are especially like thumbs up. Yeah.
Yeah, they've talked about that on the Graham Norton show. Graham loves putting stuff like that up on his show and seeing what their reactions are. So yeah, it's fun.
I wonder if somebody has written fanfic of your fiction, of your fanfic of your work.
Of my work?
Yeah.
I don't. I doubt it. Although it would be interesting if they did, because that would be interesting.
I mean,
I don't think I'm nearly popular enough for that to happen.
But you just said that you've been writing for a really long time and you have about a bazillion books. So you never know.
I never know. You're absolutely right. And that would be a very high compliment.
Just remember, the internet is a thing and people populate stuff on there all the time. So there's a good chance.
Well, I guess I'm going to have to make up a list of Google search things to either look for or not.
Beware of.
Beware of, exactly.
Well, so what book are you going to be reading to us from today, and what is its genre?
So it's my book that comes out next Tuesday. It's called Exposed. It's up here, and it's a romantic suspense. And it's the tagline for it is Hollywood Secrets, Deadly Reveals. So it takes place in Hollywood. My heroine's a part-time paparazzo. And she stumbles across some undeveloped film that calls into question a notorious murder conviction that when she starts investigating, it opens a whole can of worms. And there are a lot of people with a lot of reasons to want to keep what really happened secret. So Danger Ensues, and it's the first of a 5-book series. So the murder that begins in this book won't be resolved until the 5th book, but it'll go through various couples and characters to get to the end. So.
And this is the first book. So.
This is the first book, yeah.
Man, but you've already got it all plotted out. Okay, questions for the author into the comments, because here's how it's going to work, you guys. We are going to give the whole screen over to Anna so that Anna can read to us from her book that is the first one in this series. And while Anna is reading, you will put your questions into the comment section. And when Anna is done reading, we will then post those questions to Anna. And then let her answer them. And then actually we'll do a drawing for last week's, and we'll pick our magic word, and you guys know how it goes after that. So, with that said, are you ready to read?
I am ready to read. I didn't exactly time it, so we'll see how far we get.
Okay, and the title was Exposed.
Yes, Exposed. Right. First book of the Circle of the Red Lily series.
Here we go.
Okay. Exhausted to the point of feeling disoriented, Riley drew the final 8x10 photograph out of the fixer bath. She'd been up all night, even if she'd been of the mind to sleep. How could she? But she could focus on something important, something that might shed light on why Merle had been attacked, why Dudley had been killed. In the dim glow of the dark room light, she held the picture up and stared resignedly until the image was burned into her mind. It didn't matter how many of the pictures she developed from the roll of discarded film. It didn't matter how vehemently she tried to convince herself the next picture would be different, that she wasn't seeing what was clearly there. The next picture and the next only confirmed what the first one had shown. A beautiful young woman, perfectly posed, elegantly arranged, and at least in the final images, 100% dead, presumably drowned from the water shimmering around her. Riley didn't give up to shake off the chills that hadn't stopped racing up and down her spine. She'd seen dead bodies before. Hell, she'd seen one just last night. Tears tightened her throat as she blinked them back. Even before Dudley, she'd come across her fair share of the dead. homeless people on the street who had succumbed to the elements, an addict who had OD'd in an alley, the up-and-coming action actor who drowned during an early morning swim on the beach, victims of a 4-car pileup on the freeway that to this day made her fasten her seatbelt every time she got into a car. She'd seen all that and more, and, drawing on her grandfather's advice, used those experiences to build up her tolerance to the harsh realities of the world. That was what she loved about photography. There was no hiding or lying or deception. Moments of time caught in undeniable permanence. Truth, plain and simple. But this woman, these pictures, nausea rolled in her belly, slick and greasy. These pictures depicted something else entirely. Murder. Riley snapped off her rubber gloves, tossed them aside, and pulled out the tall metal stool to give her aching, numb legs a break. She hated what she was thinking, that there was an odd, macabre kind of art in the story of the pictures conveyed, a chilling, soul-scorching art. Every shot was different, full body, upper torso, front-facing, back, full-on zoom-in facial portrait, like a presumably drugged, then lifeless doll being manipulated into the viewer's desired positions. And in every one of them, she saw an attention to detail and an effort to showcase the play of light against whites, silvers, grays, and blacks. Various backgrounds, detailed, blurred in and out, ruining some shots, accentuating others. Dark, shimmery fabric draped perfectly over the woman's curves, accentuated the cleavage offered by the hint of lace peeking out. Her hair, inky black, was barrel-curled, invisible pins holding thick rolls of her hair in place around her round face, and then, after being submerged in the water, never lost their styled form. She had a face, a look, a feeling out of time. Even before Riley started her own business, she had attended enough professional photo shoots with her grandfather to recognize the sublime talent of a makeup artist. There was nothing casual about these pictures. Smooth pancake makeup covered any imperfections in her skin, not digital touch-ups. The pale complexion that for so long had defined cinematic perfection. Dark color stained her slightly parted lips. If Riley had to guess, she'd say her lips were a deep, rich red, blood red, the same red of the flower petal draped over one of the woman's shoulders. That was the only common element in each shot, one solitary, glorious lily. Was that long enough?
You can keep going a little bit if you want. Normally we do anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes.
Oh, goodness gracious. Okay. Sorry. I thought I said 5 to 10. Okay. So one solitary, glorious lily. And in the bottom left corner, as if burned into the lens, there was a crown, or was it a flower-like logo? She scrubbed her hands down her face. What on earth was she looking at, other than the obvious? Riley's heart ached for the woman. She was young. There was no denying that. 20, maybe 30. Certainly not significantly older than that. There was an innocence in that vacant, black-eyed stare that would have vanished beneath the weight of existence had she continued to live. Riley wanted to be wrong. She wanted to find a flicker of light, a flicker of life in the very last frame, but there was none. Instead, she'd been captured at her most perfect, and she'd drawn her last breath. Riley gnawed on her lower lip. Whatever those pictures were, they weren't normal. They were evil. Evil enough that she was second-guessing herself over not being more open with them with the detective at Morrill's store. Is there a connection? Will they come after me? Am I next? Okay, now you're being stupid. With the artistic talent shown in these pictures, it was surely just some really good simulation of a death, for some kind of performance art maybe. Riley swallowed her doubt, but the bitterness of previous experience with the LAPD lodged squarely in her throat. This whole situation is getting too maudlin, even for you. She pressed her fingers into her eyes, then jumped at the knock on the door. Riley Jessica Temple, you've been in there all night. Aunt Moxie's voice was almost stern and most definitely frustrated. You come out here for some air and sustenance, or I'm going down to the basement and I'll throw the breaker switch to kill the power for the whole building. Riley leapt to her feet, knocked over the stool, and flipped the switch that turned off the safety light. She unlocked the door. She pulled it open just long enough to stick her nose out and caught the distinct aroma of long simmering cider and the pine needles from the tree they'd had delivered 2 days before. You hate the basement, she accused. You wouldn't dare. Try me. Riley narrowed her eyes as she evaluated her options. Fewer things were more certain in life than Moxie Temple's determination to defy expectations. The old woman had made an entire career out of it, actually, a career that even decades later continued to afford her occasional employment opportunities. Add to that the fact that should Moxie carry out her threat, Riley would have to visit every one of their 20-plus tenants and apologize for the power interruption. That would seriously eat away at most of her Saturday. Don't have to dare now. Moxie smirked and shoved a banana at her. I can see it in your eyes. This week's hairstyle for the 79-year-old actress was 1940s side-swept pin-up curls in a highlighted copper, accented with a familiar blue patterned band. Moxie's eyes, currently narrowed and shooting green, irritated laser beams in Riley's direction, carried the same determined glare her older brother, Riley's grandfather, had possessed. Consider the night shift over, Moxie announced. Sun's coming up, and you've got yoga on the roof in a half hour. Yoga. Ugh. Riley groaned and rested her forehead against the door. I forgot. Not like you to forget even the promise of a mimosa. Lock it up and move it out, baby cakes. I've got places to be and things to do. I haven't been baby cake since I was 10, Riley mumbled. But at Moxie's added glare, she stood up straight and flashed a smile. Yes, ma'am. She snapped open the banana and shoved a bite into her mouth. Out in 5 minutes. I'll be counting. 1, 2, 3. It's a good thing I love her, Riley muttered as she reclosed the door. I heard that. Riley grinned, polishing off the banana in record time before yanking the photographs off the drying line and placing them into an empty folder. Normally, she'd stash the folder in one of her tall metal filing cabinets, but she bypassed that option and instead hurried through her connecting office into her bedroom suite. Aunt Moxie had never been much of a snoop, but it wasn't often she ventured into Riley's area of their shared 4-bedroom apartment. But given what these pictures could represent, that she was still convincing herself surely didn't represent, she wasn't going to take the chance of triggering an interrogation session with her great aunt. Until Riley had a better idea of what those pictures were, until she confirmed they weren't some weird prank, no. She shook her head and shoved that thought right out of her mind. Detective Quinn Burton had been right in his assessment of her predicament last night. The so-called thief had ignored the pricey laptop to go for the box of junk. That alone meant these pictures were worth something to someone. Maybe because they showed some kind of kink fetish that would embarrass the owner. Either way, she couldn't have imagined they'd be something to kill over. Keep going. I'll keep going. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Has a little bit more in the chapter. Okay. I'll go to the end. She hoped to discover the two incidents were completely unrelated. Keeping the photos to herself and as secret as possible was absolutely the best course of action until she found out what the deal actually was. She didn't want to put anyone else in jeopardy. In her walk-in closet, she pulled down the box labeled Favorite High School Mementos, a total fabrication as she had none, and stashed the folder inside. After changing into her workout clothes, she returned to the dark room to clean up. With the photographs out of sight, her dark room already felt lighter somehow. Out of sight, out of mind, maybe. That's what Moxie always said. In this case, Riley found that the concept was impossible to embrace. The images felt toxic somehow, but also filled with what? Promise? That film was at least 2, maybe 3 decades old. Now, finally, the metal canisters they'd been stored in had been allowed to spill its secret. Whether those secrets proved lucrative, well, that was something she'd have to mull over, wouldn't she? Until then, she was on the same time crunch thanks to Moxie, and she picked up speed, getting the room spot-checked cleaned once more. She'd grown up in this building, in this very apartment, and more specifically in this dark room, amidst the bottles and basins and cylinders. When most girls had been playing Barbie or Polly Pocket, she'd had timers and lenses and cameras of every type. She'd spend hours perched on the tallest stool, enraptured by her grandfather's stories as he unspooled undeveloped, enlarged, and printed moments of time caught by film rolls, all but forgotten by modern day. She'd made this room her own since Douglas Temple's death 8 years ago, when Moxie had insisted on remodeling the living space to give them both a joint home and each have privacy. They shared kitchen and entertaining areas, but had separate bedroom suites. That the dark room would be hers had been a given, and Moxie had turned the extra bedroom into a small screening and meditation room. As for Riley and her dark room, she'd repainted the cabinets, covered the walls in a faux brick panel that added a New York loft appeal, added storage for less cluttered, more organized appearance, and kept it dedicated to developing the long-lost and forgotten films she collected from pawn shops and estate sales around Los Angeles. Normally, Riley displayed the results as art or gave the framed photos as gifts, but most of the pictures got filed away for potential exhibitions and shows, a dream so far out of reach at this point she wasn't sure why she bothered dwelling on it. Digital photography, not feudal dreams, paid the bills. On top of her paparazzi work, she offered family portrait sessions, headshot packages, and interior showcases for websites and commercial advertising. Word of mouth and an up-to-date website earned her a majority of her jobs. Of course, she'd always be considered a pariah by some, Detective Burton's partner, for example, but his attitude and inappropriate humor were typical of cops in her experience. Detective Quinn Burton, Riley found herself frowning. He'd been more of a surprise. No one should be thinking about, she told herself. Not one she should be thinking about, she told herself, in a not-so-gentle tone. She knew what most people thought about the paparazzi, and honestly, at times, she agreed with them. Stalking celebrities, attempting to capture them at their most vulnerable, it wasn't a profession that lent itself to expanding friendships or building a positive karma, let alone pride in one's profession. But until performers' extracurricular activities stopped paying, she'd keep on keeping on. Yeah, Detective Burton's partner had definitely flipped her bitch switch last night, but Detective Burton, she scrunched her lips. He'd flipped another switch entirely. She let out a slow, deliberate breath. Even through the haze of anger and grief, she'd have to have been 10 years in the grave herself not to have noticed the appealing package that man came wrapped in. Tall with the healthy build of a man who took fitness seriously, but not to the extreme. He kept his light brown hair neat, but not particularly styled. He looked oddly comfortable in a crisp white button-down shirt, pressed slacks, and dark blazer. She liked that he'd foregone the tie. He was professional in his appearance without looking overly stuffy, unlike his partner, who, to Riley's jaded eye, looked as if he was trying too hard. The fact Detective Burton got the inside joke on Merle's Rolodex system had earned him definite bonus points, as had his obvious irritation over his partner's comments. But he lost them again for his chosen profession. Any other time, Quinn Burton might very well have landed on the top of her to-do list, but that title of detective just pushed all the wrong buttons for her. Besides, thinking about him this way, or in any way, was completely inappropriate. Him being a cop aside, now was not the time to pull anyone new into her life, no matter how attractive or distracting. Besides, he struck her as a throwback, a man of, honor, and Riley didn't exactly have the inside track on that quality. An honorable woman would hand over potential evidence in a pair of crimes that struck far too close to her heart, not stash them in her closet. An honorable woman wouldn't be planning on tracking down where those photographs came from. An honorable woman would trust the authorities to handle things, but experience had taught her long ago that didn't always pan out. Riley also wasn't big on trust. It needed to be hard earned. Loyalty, on the other hand, justice, revenge even, those she embraced with relish.
Yeah, right. I think that is the end of that chapter.
Yeah, sorry about the starts and stops. I knew I misjudged the timing wrong on that.
No, that's okay. All right, so we do have some questions here, and let me go find them and pull them up. Let's see. All right, starting here at the top. Is each other book going to be from another character's perspective?
Yes, each book of the 5 will feature a different heroine. So Riley has 4 friends. She's on her way to yoga. That's with her 4 best friends. They all live in the same apartment building in Los Angeles. And it's an apartment building Riley and her aunt own. And each of those heroines will be a subsequent heroine of their own book. In fact, Mabel will be book 2. And she has a connection actually to the crime that Riley uncovers in this book. So the crime that gets uncovered in this book is the overarching thread. Each one of the heroines has a particular talent or connection to the case that will bring them in. So it kind of turns into like a women's murder club kind of thing.
Interesting.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask the questions a little out of order from what I've seen them come in, but like kind of building on that,
Sure.
We have this one here, which is more difficult to plan out, the murder mystery or the elaborate interpersonal entanglements?
Well, that's an interesting question. I don't plot. I write as I go. So I would say at times they're both difficult. For me, the book really does. I don't really start writing the book until I really know what the conflict between the main characters are. For instance, I knew Riley was going to have trust issues. I didn't know what those trust issues were going to relate to until I figured that there had to be a cop in the story. And writing a cop these days can be really interesting and challenging. So that was something I was very conscious of when I was writing the book. So playing off of trust issues that a lot of people have with the police really lent itself well to the conflict. So that actually was fairly easy to keep going, mainly because it's a lot of push and pull. And for me, conflict only gets resolved when there's a change of belief system on somebody's part. And Riley comes to see through the example of how Quinn presents himself and how he works. And she does learn that there actually are good cops out there. She didn't have the advantage of having really come across that many up until meeting Quinn. And Quinn is also faced with the realization that no, not all cops are perfect. And he's having to come to terms with the fact that some of them made a lot of big mistakes that will subsequently lead to the rest of the mysteries. So the interpersonal entanglements is a great way to describe conflict. I love that. I'm probably going to steal that and use that. As far as the plot of the story, like I said, I don't plot out the external. I don't go off an outline or anything, especially in this one because I didn't have to sell it on proposal. My editor said, "What do you want to write?" And I said, "I've got an idea for a Hollywood murder mystery, LA Confidential meets Women's Murder Club." And she said, "Great, write it." So I wrote it, and I didn't write a synopsis. I just started at page 1 and went all the way through. That said, as of now, I think I know what the resolution is at the end of book 5, but I've had it happen before where I've thought that and it's changed completely by the time I get there. So, yeah, the plot is a mystery to me too. So I don't know if that means it makes it difficult or not, but it definitely makes it challenging.
Well, so I was going to ask, again, it's kind of like now following in relation to this. I was going to ask if you knew it was going to be a 5-book series, does that mean you plot your books in advance? But you just said that you don't. So how do you know that it's going to be a 5-book series if you don't plot your books in advance?
Because I choose the characters. So it all starts with characters for me. So I've got a notebook, and and also my editor said we want either a 3 or a 5-book series.
Yeah, okay, I was going to say she knew how many books because she signed a contract.
Actually, with this one, it's contract by contract. Normally, I do. With Harlequin, I do. But with a smaller press, it's a little bit different process. So it goes, as soon as I finish this book, then I get the second contract, and then when that book gets finished, I'll get the third contract. And that's mainly because they're being generous with their advances, but they also have to divide them up so they're not paid all at once. When I sign a contract with Harlequin, I usually sign anywhere from a 4 to a 6 book deal. So that means they're paying me partially on each of those books, not just on one. So that's a big chunk of money to come at one time, which I'm very grateful for and always very relieved to receive. But with a smaller press, it's a smaller amount and it gets doled out in a little bit different way. But going into it, our verbal agreement was that it would be a 5-book series. So knowing that, I developed the characters, and that's where I start scribbling in a notebook and figuring out who all the names are, making sure that I haven't repeated any first initials, because that's always a bugaboo with me. I call it the Russian literature syndrome. When you've got 5 or 6 characters with the same initials, drives me nuts because I can never keep track of who is who. So I always make sure.
I am Malachite from Martian land of Camellia. Yeah, like MMMM, too many M's. Yep.
Exactly. Exactly. You know what? You want your readers to fall into the story. You don't want them getting pulled out of it by saying, okay, now who's that again? You know, you shouldn't have to have a glossary of names at the beginning of the book. And I know certain genres are notorious for that, and that's great. But with romance, you really don't want to do that because you just want to get into the story and lose yourself completely. And if you screw up with the names, that's a surefire way to lose your audience. So it starts with the characters, and then from there, I have the general concept. And like I said, this all started with the idea of what happened if somebody were to discover an undeveloped roll of film. That's literally what the jump off point was for the story.
And so does that tie into, so Joshua asks, like, what made you decide to go with this particular genre? And is that what made you decide to go with this, like kind of the whole film thing, or?
Well, I knew I wanted to, break further into the suspense and the thriller market. I love reading thrillers and suspense. My way into Harlequin was writing contemporary romance. So I do write a lot of small town, very sweet Hallmark movie type romance, although my romances actually have conflict. But I wanted to go darker and I wanted to stretch myself as a writer. I'm actually even now exploring the idea of even going into horror. So
horror romance?
Yeah, I'm playing with the idea
Easy, Flora.
Yes.
Flora, down.
Sorry.
So I knew I wanted to go darker, and I couldn't do that in Harlequin because there are certain expectations that they have set with their lines, and that's fine. So when this opportunity came to me and she said, what do you want to write? And I said, I'd really like to see what I can do with suspense and with a thriller. And she said, let's do it. So that's really, I was given the opportunity to stretch my writing wings, and I said yes. So
then, so we have a question here, I guess, question from Cobble, which is, when you wrote the darkroom scene, what style of film did you have in mind?
In my mind, it was 35 millimeter. I watched so many YouTube videos of people developing films, and I was really worried about getting a lot of the details wrong. So really what I used as inspiration was the idea of her grandfather having been working for the studio system back in the 40s and early 50s. And I have a book that I bought when I was 16. Bought it at a B. Dalton bookstore, and you're all probably too young to remember B. Dalton bookstores, but it was.
I assure you, I am not too young to remember those.
Okay, good. But it's like a large trade paperback, and it's thin, but it's all images of the Hollywood studio portraits that each of the act, like Humphrey Bogart and Lauren Bacall and Marilyn Monroe, and I was obsessed with Marilyn Monroe growing up. So the whole studio system idea was really appealing to me. And for me, it's the older film and the 35 millimeter film. And I stuck with 35 millimeter mainly because it was the one I could find the most information on as research. So from a practical standpoint, whether or not that is truly authentic to the film that was actually used in the 40s and the 50s, I know they did, but it wasn't exclusively used. That was really what I was trying to. That said, Riley works with both digital because as a paparazzo, so of course she's going to be working with digital photography. So she kind of has a separate area, but that dark room, which is really her grandfather's dark room, is the kind of film that he used to work with. So that's another reason she continues with the undeveloped film idea.
Okay, so kind of building on the whole dark room and film thing, Newt asks, given that you have a dark room, when is your story set?
It's present day. So, yeah. Hopefully I wrote it in a way where it will not be too dated, 10, 15 years down the road if somebody discovers the book. Hopefully some of the cultural or the pop culture references might get a little lost on people. But as far as how I set up the apartment building and the dark room in particular, it's present day for 2022.
Okay. So I'm going to save like the best pair of questions, the most fun one for last. The funnest.
Okay.
Me. But do you have some celebrity inspirations for some of your characters?
I don't always. When I'm writing a Harlequin, I tend to, because I have to fill out what's called an art fact sheet. And they always, you have to give a character description and what the story is. And you have to write another synopsis, which is a horror story in itself. But they usually want a photo reference so they know what kind of image to look for in their databases. But when I was writing this one, I actually started using OneNote, which I hadn't really kept anything for a story Bible before. But I knew this time I wanted to be really careful about all the details and keeping track of everything because I didn't want to drop a thread as I was moving through the 5 books. And this particular, I'm trying to think, I think for Riley, I think I chose Keira Knightley as and how she looked in the first Pirates of the Caribbean movie, where she looks kind of innocent, but she's got a little bit of an edge to her. I will say the one character in this book who will be book 5, and that's Laurel oh God, I don't even remember her name. I've written 4 books since I wrote this one, so I'm trying to remember. Anyway, the character of Laurel, who is actually a high-priced defense attorney, I knew instantly who that character was inspired by, and that was Angie Harmon. And it's probably because I watch way too much Rizzoli and Isles.
So many names.
Rizzoli and Isles for the win.
Okay, let's see here. So what are your favorite euphemisms for sweet and spicy stuff?
When I was listening to you guys before you brought me into the studio, I'm like, countdown to when I get the sex talk question. Congratulations, Count Morbid, you win.
I mean, he always wins when it comes to that topic.
I would like to point out that is the least explicit, sexy question I've ever asked.
You know what? I don't really have any trouble believing that. You guys are very entertaining to listen to.
That is very tame for him.
And if you don't think I haven't been keeping notes listening to all of you guys. But
oh shit, he's got notes, everybody.
I don't use a whole lot of euphemisms. I mean, in my heartwarming books, we don't get to write any sex scenes, so it's it's holding hands and kissing. And in my suspense books, I'm trying to think. I hate writing sex scenes. First of all, I just hate it. They make me uncomfortable.
Masks or anything.
Yeah, and I'm like, you know what? 12 years of Catholic school, I'm still residual guilt or something. I don't know. But
I mean, having grown up Catholic, I can assure you that you can go several different directions with that.
High five for Catholic school. Yeah, high five.
But in this particular book, I just went straight on with, I'm not going to say them just because it's my mother's in the next room. I'm not going to say them. And I don't want to go out of the room and saying, what were you guys talking
I was
about?
going to say the question that
it's an interview, Mom.
Yeah.
No, go ahead. The question you normally ask.
The question I normally ask is, how spicy is it on a scale of 1 to Flora?
Which brings us around to Flora's question, which is your steamiest book.
And there's the Flora reference.
There she is.
Guilty.
So she's asking for a friend.
Oh, always asking. No, I'm asking for myself. I have no shame.
Look at her.
Well, I'll go ahead and answer that one. Okay, so in the heartwarmings, it would be around a 1. In the romantic suspense for Harlequins, it's probably about a 5 or a 6. And in answer to Flora's current question, which is what book is my steamiest, it would actually be this one, Exposed, because I didn't have any restrictions as far as what language I could use and how far I could go with whatever I wanted to go with. And one of my friends who also writes romantic suspense read it for me before I submitted it into my editor. I wanted to make sure that I hit the right notes with the suspense angle, and she said, damn, I didn't know you could write sex like that. And I'm like, neither did I. So, it depends on the characters.
Do they do it in the dark room?
They start to. that pixie little Aunt Moxie gets in the way. She interrupts them, and coitus interruptus in the dark room.
Coitus interruptus?
That sounds like a spell. Coitus interruptus.
You start making out in the dark room, and then you see what develops.
Oh.
We've been dad jokes.
Wow.
We've been morbid.
That's really
We've been morbid.
good. I'm going to be leaving here with a lot of good material. Thank you.
That was a flash of insight on his part.
That was really good.
No.
Count Morbid. Okay, I gotta make sure to give you credit if I ever use that. Start in the dark room. In fact, you know what? That's gonna go in the next book. Thank you. You gave me a line for the next book. I have to start in the dark room. That's yoga mimosa talk right there.
Yoga mimosa.
Yoga mimosa.
I love mimosas.
See what develops. Yep.
That sounds like a good morning plan. Just yoga mimosas. You just have mimosas right before you do yoga, and or vice versa.
Science.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they do, which is why people fall asleep during yoga.
Okay.
I think we'll do that at Fairy Blossom next year.
Yoga mimosa at Fairy Blossom.
Waiting for everyone to.
I'll go to that booth. Yep.
You know what? I would actually get up early to go do morning yoga. I
would get up early to do morning mimosas.
Yeah.
Early.
Gail's got the right idea here.
I would not get up early.
Stormy's all nah.
Nope.
Why do I instantly envision like all of us at Fairy Blossom, all of us are doing yoga and like having the one hand out for the one sip, and then here comes Stormy, hair is just all ragged and out everywhere, cup of coffee, sees us and just goes, nope.
Nope.
And leaves.
Things off the table.
Just things off the
table. Not in my house.
It's either. Don't forget, there's also the Baby Bell margaritas.
Ew.
Oh.
No, I'll stick with my mimosa.
Hey, look, an author.
Yep.
Yes. So that brings us round to our giveaway for the evening and the suggestions for the magic word. So you guys start putting your suggestions for the magic word.
Dirty dark room.
The comments now. But
Can you use
Anna,
oyster again?
what we actually are getting for our giveaway this evening.
I am giving away 2 signed books. I apologize. I left them in the other room because I'm usually on a different computer. But
you get not 1, but 2 signed books.
Yes, 2 signed books. One is a sweet romance. It's Bright on the Run, and that's actually I've won an award for that book. It won for best mid-length contemporary romance from the Holt Medallion, and it's just a fun. Girl runs away from her wedding and ends up on a boat with a sexy captain. So. And they can't do anything because it's a sweet romance. But there is a fun parrot in the book, so that's enjoyable. Morbid, I can read your mind. I have been around you 5 minutes, and I know exactly what you're thinking with that parrot. And stop it.
First off, I thought you said ferret. I swear to God, I thought you said ferret.
Oh, ferret would have been good. Oh, no, I couldn't because it's California and we can't have them here. Anyway, and the second one is, I think the second one is Guarding His Midnight Witness, which is a book that was inspired by Hitchcock's Rear Window. So,
Ooh.
Yeah, and that's spicier. So that has some sex in it. So.
Are we doing 2 drawings then? One for each of the books, or are we doing 1 drawing with 2 books?
Either way, if it's easier to just do 1 drawing for both books, that's fine. However you want to do it is fine with me.
2 winners.
You are the guest. 2 winners. Two for next week. Is that what you're voting for down there, Flora? Okay. Well, I'm happy to do that. We could do 2 different drawings then for next week, 1 book for each. And so with that said, then that we do have a whole bunch of suggestions here in the comments for this week's magic word. And so I'm going to read them for you. And Anna, we will let you pick which one you like best to be the magic word for this week. Let's see. Here we go. Starting with fixer bath and developing entanglement, safe light, dirty dark room.
So do I stop when I find it?
No,
just
listen to all of them.
I just listen to all of them and then choose. Yes, so dirty dark room deeds. Very AC/DC there. And then we have, let's see, development. Let's see. Dirty developer. Let's see. Well, exposure is the name of the book, but I guess also suggestions for the magic word.
How about underexposure? Overexposure. Overexposure.
Framing of the shrew.
That's very good. Clever.
Let's see. Erotic exposure. Sweet and spicy. And
again, came for me.
Okay. Silver screen. Let's see. No, I'm not doing flasher. No. Yoga mimosas.
Yoga mimosa, of course.
Let's see.
I changed mine to disappointed dark room because they were interrupted.
Disappointed dark room. Stage black and 35 millimeter. So those are the suggestions. And which one is your favorite? Oh, and I have a dark flash as well.
You know, I gotta go with Framing of the Shrew. That's awesome. I have the worst time with puns and stuff, so I bow to people who can do a good pun. So that is it.
Well, Tony is very punny.
Whoa! Sorry, you said a good pun.
In my limited experience, good pun.
Let's see. All right, so here we go. Framing of the Shrew, putting it up on the screen for you guys. That is this week's magic word. And for those of you who may not know what we're talking about, go put Framing of the Shrew in the comments on YouTube, not on Facebook, not on Twitch, after the show, not the live comment feed section. After the show, and you will be entered to win one of the 2 books that will be up for grabs next week. And if you would like to get your extra entries, then you can join our Patreon and or our YouTube. Each one of those is worth 1 extra entry for a maximum of 3. And of course, if you do join our Patreon, then you will also get our monthly bonus special, which is the cool little the mini fairy painting as well. So
mini fairy painting.
Yeah. How does that go again, Phoenix? How does that go?
Mini fairy painting.
Thank you.
Look at Count Morbid.
So with that said, is there anything else that you would like to say to everybody before we let you go tonight, Anna?
Just that if you want to pre-order Exposed, it is on sale for only $2.99 for the digital book.
Oh.
at least through release day, hopefully through release day or release week. So $2.99 for the full book, and it is a 400-page book, so it's a nice size book. And also the paperback is only going to be $10. So my publisher was great about keeping the cost down, which was not easy given all the paper shortages around. But so $10 for the paperback and $2.99 for the digital. And book 2 will be out on July 11th. I start writing it next week.
Oh wow. And the links are in the low bar for you guys wherever you're watching from. So
my other useful question: do you have any are any of them available in audio?
I was gonna ask
this
that.
will be my first one that's actually coming out. It should be out by the end of the month, I think. And I actually just started following the narrator on Instagram. I heard a sample of what she's done, and I think
what's her name?
Megan. I can email it. I'll email it to you if you want to share it. I wish I could remember it offhand, because she's using a different name on Instagram than she is actually. She has a romance persona.
I'm sure I've heard her
when she does romance novels, and I just found that out today. So the name I would give you is not the name you want to look up. So yeah, that'll be out. And I'm hoping the same reader is going to do all of them. But some of my paranormals are available. I wrote 4 paranormal novellas, and those 4 are available in audio but only on Scribd. I don't know if you subscribe to Scribd or not.
It's not on Audible.
No, I did an exclusive deal with Scribd because they offered me a really nice deal, and I said, sure.
Well, with that said, then we will let you go this evening, and all your links are in the low bar so people can find them before, during, and after the show. And down there. Yes. And thank you so much for being here with us tonight, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you so much, guys. This was fun.
Thank you, Anna.
Bye.
Bye. Have a good night.
Before we go to the next topic, I just want to say real fast, when she had first made the statement about her 5-book set, I don't know why, but I just had this feeling that it was going to be based off of each different character's perspective, which is why I asked that question. I am so excited. And now to know that it's such a cheap price just to get the digital copy, if I can speak properly. If I could get the digital copy, it would be so nice. Digital. Digital.
So speaking digital,
I want to get digital.
No. It is after 8:30.
I mean, oops, this is not what I'm looking for. All right, because speaking of
these are not the stories we're looking for.
I know, right? Drawing and other such things. I sort of skipped over doing our drawing for the book.
Oh, yes.
Trick of the Fae from last week's author. So I had pre-prepared the list, but I forgot to do the drawing before we got talking to Anna. So we're going to do the drawing now, and this was for the Trick of the Fae book. So here we go. Maybe my mouse is
from our other author from last week. Yes. Sorry, everyone. We completely forgot about Wheel of Wind, but it's okay. You love us anyway.
No.
I mean, didn't totally forget about it because here we are. But, all right. You win for a copy of Trick of the Fae.
Wait, they've won before.
Crazy Diamond Babe.
It was almost Count Morbid, but I don't really understand how Count Morbid is even on my list.
I was going to say, well, I also see Baroness Gale.
I was going to say,
did I
there must be a Phoenix Rainbow Light up there too if you accidentally got too many people up there.
I may have accidentally copied too far down on the list because I'm like, how are you guys' names even on there? I would have had to draw again and again and again. So, well, congratulations, and there we go. That is that. So, let's see. Oh, yes, and now the time of the tasting has arrived. Are you ready for this, Phoenix?
Oh, look, I have to go somewhere. Bye. Oh, Ion's got the right idea. Yeah.
You're supposed to fake that you're freezing and technical difficulties.
So this is the CLAMonaise, And as you guys know, we bought this a couple of weeks ago. So hypothetically, there's a Cards Against Humanity packet in the middle of this. Ugh. And so,
oh, no, why?
I want to clarify.
You don't get to keep
I love.
No, I want that Cards Against Humanity packet. I just want you to know that right now.
Oh no, you're getting that back. I just want to clarify to all of our viewers how much we absolutely love you and your patronage. But whoever decided to do this, it's not on my friend list right now.
I want to be clear. I want to be clear after what Phoenix just said. I do not have any clam mayo because our viewers can go screw themselves before I will taste that. They can go.
Wow, Morbid's love for you knows no bounds.
Yeah, no, you all can suck it.
I will also state that this has become a topic at my house because it's been sitting in our fridge. So our neighbors, which also happens to be my boyfriend's sister and his and her husband, this has become a thing. And now everyone in the house actually wants to try it.
Ew. Well, I guess that they get to go next. Are we ready to do this? I have a bag of chips that I'm going to put these on. They're salt and vinegar, so
that's no fair to do salt and vinegar.
Okay, so
to be clear,
the vinegar is going to take away all that flavor.
Lolly, you have all that. You have all that and a bag of chips.
yeah. Screw it. I'm the whole damn party mix. So
is it supposed to have a film layer on it? Oh, there's like a film layer on it. I don't trust.
No.
Do not trust.
No. Look, mine is open. Oh no.
That's a film layer right there.
Oh.
That's a drippy, nasty film layer.
Oh.
I would say what that is. But
Oh God, the smell. Oh. I'm in an enclosed closet. You're killing me, Lolly. Open the door. Don't go away, Odin. Go away. Shoot.
That's brilliant.
Hey, quick show of hands. Who's too smart? Who is? Whenever Lolly says, "Hey, do you want to put this in your mouth?" Raise your hands if you're like, "No."
Yeah.
Whenever what?
No. Yeah, never.
You all know better.
No,
So,
you're gonna scrape it off the lid that I gave you. Because there's a ton of it on there. Oh, this is disgusting. Like, look,
Do you think?
At this time, I'm now bringing on my official taste tester. Thank you, Princess Lolly, for paying me so well. I have a royal taste tester here, and he's gonna take my spot.
Can we see his face too?
Yes, you may see his face here. Hold on.
Yeah,
there's his face. Go ahead.
Is this the worst thing you've ever put in your mouth?
Not that bad, actually.
It's not that bad. No. Do it again. Now you're a bigot. Do it again.
You have to taste
finger. The entire.
No. Now lick it off of each other's fingers.
I do this for you, people. Apparently, I mean, my dog likes it. He's licking what fell down on the floor. So there you go. Get every spot.
I put up a saying. I have a kitty cat here that's very interested.
Ew! No!
Don't feed it to the cat. That's animal cruelty. Eat it yourself.
Oh no, Ion, you're frozen. Are you frozen?
No, he's frozen.
Really still.
He did it right. He froze himself on purpose right before he was supposed to try it.
That is not frozen. He's just holding very still.
You can't see him if he eats slow. He's invisible.
I can see the air molecules coming out of his nose. He's definitely breathing.
Are you being? You're not being serious. You can't see.
Of course, I'm not being serious. Of course, I'm not being serious.
Dude, I don't know. Maybe you ate mushrooms before you came on.
Which again would have been a better choice than this.
Probably. Here we go. Okay, so I'm trying to embiggen myself because Ion is frozen, and so
all mushrooms are edible. Some of them
only one.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. During our author's reading, I went and grabbed some apple cranberry juice just to wash this taste out my mouth.
Okay.
Oh,
Here we go. Ooh,
Oh,
it's
God.
not helping.
no, no, I'm so scared now.
If
You
chicken
made
out,
this
you will have
happen,
a
Lolly.
meeting.
You made this happen.
No, our
People who
brace.
have already tried it will kill you if you don't try it. After you made them, there will be riots in the streets.
Our viewers at home made this possible. Oh God.
Put it in your pie hole.
Oh, I think I found the cards.
You hope that's hard.
I hope that's what it is.
That's-
Now lick it
No, that's
nice and
clamshell.
slowly.
You found the clamshells.
This is amazing.
Put it in your gobber.
Do it.
Lick it. Lick the shaft.
Just lick it already.
Licky the clicky.
Here we go.
Do it.
Oh. Okay.
Yep,
Oh man.
that was what I figured.
Oh my God, it's the grossest.
It's the grossest. Yeah. Cover it up with flavor of vinegar. Hurry.
Oh my
I
God.
think
Vinegar
this is-
kills anything with that high pH value.
Quick show of hands and also comments from the audience.
Did it make it worse? It made it worse, didn't it?
For those of us on the show
Oh,
and
Water's
watching,
just gonna spread it around.
how many people who did not try this gagged during the past 5 minutes? How many
Just-
people who were
Just
not
watching
trying
everybody else. Yeah.
this, who was just
no.
watching this, did anyone else gag?
No, I was laughing too hard.
no. Oh my God, it's so gross.
So, just so that
Oh.
everyone's aware of what you cannot see off screen right now, when I first took that film layer off the top of this and it spilled on the ground, my dog is still licking it up. He has ceased to finish it. He is
Well,
still like,
Ugh.
I am
they like
worried that it has
carpet.
gotten into the
Oh,
fibers of the carpet within the 5 seconds it's been there.
You're never gonna get that smell out.
I know, and I'm stuck in this because this is also my work office. This is where I'm
Oh,
stuck
God.
for
All
8
right.
hours out of the day.
Like,
Ion's
hold on,
back.
Ion. Like,
Oh,
hold
God.
on. Hold on. Jeez,
Why it's
everybody's
so
so
sweet.
eager.
Also, hey Lolly, maybe it's
Whoa.
something. Maybe it's an acquired taste, and if you keep trying it,
No, shut up,
Eventually
Morbid. Oh my God, no.
You'll just
Ugh.
wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning and have an inexplicable craving for something, and you're like, damn it, it's CLAMonaise, and they discontinued it.
Oh man. All right, Ion. Oh God, it's horrible.
Shoo, shoo.
So I'm going to edit what I said before about cats being interested. They are no longer interested.
Oh, never mind.
Watch what this
They
did.
sniffed it and they
Because-
said no.
They were
Okay,
like,
can we just here the fact that the dog likes it and the cat doesn't is
Oh,
proof
boy.
that cats are better than dogs.
True.
Well, dogs
so
eat
Ion
food.
is
Cats
frozen
don't eat
again.
food.
It looks like.
No, Ion.
Oh, he keeps freezing.
He's
Just go to
doing it on
Lolly's
purpose.
computer. Just go to Lolly's computer. It's fine.
Go eat over Lolly's head.
Ew, no.
Drop some.
Oh no, he's tasting it. We can't.
Oh, look at that face. He already looks like he's terrified for his choices.
Hi.
All right, you're unfrozen. Quick, go. Do it. Do it.
Do it.
The smell is overpowering.
Again, I want to be super clear to the audience. I do not care enough about you at all to do something this stupid in my mouth. No.
Oh man. Oh yeah.
And for all of our viewers at home right now, if you find out that next episode does not have a fairy princess Lolly, an Ion the Leprechaun, or Fenix Rainbow Light, and the rest of our staff here seems to be crying uncontrollably, you will know that we have left this mortal coil behind.
Oh, it's sweet that you.
Oh,
think
hey,
that.
Flora, Flora, I just sent you a last-minute article link. It's for food poisoning from something called clam mayo. Apparently, there's some cases propping up and stuff, but it seemed like a fun article, so I'm dropping the link to you. And again, that's clam mayo food poisoning and something explosive diarrhea.
Shut up, Morbid.
something explosive diarrhea.
No,
not everything.
That's how that
out
song
of that,
goes.
Phoenix. What are you doing?
I feel like that's how that song would go.
No.
So Ion, you come in here, and take
Remove the CLAMonaise from her presence. Oh no, she wants the cards. I see.
I want the cards. Yeah.
I want the cards. Fish
Where's
them
the
out.
Dorian's bedtime.
Good night.
Good night, Dorian.
We love you.
Good night, Dorian.
Like one of
You
these
could have been
Oh my
milking
God.
Dorian's cat
Oh my
the whole
God.
time.
I can't.
It's a real thing right now.
That is
Oh God.
Where'd the knife go?
Remember, people, we do this for you.
Thank you,
Put it-
Igby.
People
This
can
has
go
been very
screw.
Give me
enjoyable.
those mints back. Like, no,
Yeah.
I'm putting the mint into my mouth. Oh, you got it. Okay. Well, I have a spoon, I guess. I just didn't want to use my spoon. What?
Will you stop?
I think
No.
my original statement about this looking like clam discharge is coming very,
Whoa.
very factual.
Gross.
This is terrifying.
Why would you say so? Oh,
Oh my
Nope.
gosh.
No.
Okay, here
That's
we go.
You
just
all are very, very stupid people.
There it is. There it is.
They're
Oh,
not. They're very
no.
entertaining.
Seriously,
Okay.
is there no one in the audience
Yeah.
having a gag reflex right now?
I can't even make a joke about this because I want to be like,
So,
but I'm just like, I just can't. I can't even. I don't want it near my face.
Then put it
It's-
down.
I feel like what needs to happen now. Ew, it's so gross. Wow, what is? So Ion is washing off. Oh, gross. Nothing. It makes everything taste horrible.
I told you.
Would have been, and like in my mouth, and I'm like,
Yeah, I'm
it
sure
tastes so weird.
raspberry on top of that would not be good.
Yeah, but
I'm telling you, I tried to
I
use
salt
the
and
bitterness
pepper,
of cranberry
then
and it
coffee,
hasn't worked.
And then that, and so it's like the third thing, and it's still disgusting.
That
Oh.
can't possibly be the worst thing you've ever put in your mouth. Okay, thanks.
Okay, thanks.
I might have to shut off the camera, everybody. Specifically, I might have to shut off the mic. Oh. That should never have passed go, and no one should ever collect $200 from this shit.
Somebody get an ensign.
Yes, that is exactly what I need.
Parsley. Mhm.
Yeah, parsley. It's a palate cleanser, and also
Or
a breath
some
cleanser.
wasabi or ginger. Yes.
Mm.
Ginger is also a great palate cleanser.
I don't have any parsley.
Go eat some straight up coffee beans.
There you go.
Geez, those are. So here's the card.
I actually really love the texture of
in it.
chocolate covered.
I still don't do.
It has to be dark
What
chocolate.
if we do some CLAMonaise covered
Don't give me
beans
the
for you
white
instead?
chocolate speckled shit.
Oh, yeah, no, okay. I need some scissors to cut this.
There
open.
better be some like clam related cards in this deck. That's all I can say.
On mine it says you've won a clam prize. Is it a pearl? Is it a car? Is it a clam themed vacation? Scan your code to find out. So I guess did you not get one on the back of yours?
I did not decide to wipe it off and try to clean. I shoved it back in the container because I'm terrified. This requires me getting up and going to the bathroom, and
Yes, you
I
can.
just no.
Oh man.
Drum roll, everybody.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Let's see. Oh, ew. Open. Oh, it's so gross.
You are so dumb.
No. What?
I meant as a collective you.
I don't believe you.
No, it was no, it's definitely plural.
Okay.
I think I might actually have some stomach issues after this. I'm not
gonna
sure.
actually see if I won anything from my little CLAMonaise prize.
I like, guys. You all have experienced that situation where like you're trying to swallow to prevent yourself from feeling like you're gonna get sick.
Okay, so listen. The author has no idea how lucky they were that like their bit was done before this, because the magic words y'all would have suggested after
this. Clam discharge, I'm telling you.
Well, it tells me that I won a climate catastrophe pack. Cause climate catastrophe pack. And then it has like a way for me to claim my Clamma prize. What did you get a Clamma prize card, Phoenix?
I haven't opened it. Okay, hold on. I'll be right back. Hold on. I'll be right back.
Get your taste tester to do it for you.
Okay, I'm gonna
taste tester. Come here. Taste tester. I need you to take the card pack out of here, lick it clean, and then bring it back to me. Okay, well, you don't have to lick it clean because they won't see you. You're off screen. Just take it and go.
No relationship can survive this.
Yeah, you're right. I'm not. I think he already asked for a divorce, and we haven't even been married yet. So that's usually a surefire sign that this can end a relationship.
They even smell terrible. Okay,
so they smell like.
Do you guys want to hear what's on them?
Right now, all I smell is CLAMonaise, and I've rid myself of it.
What are you doing? Just go wash it off in the sink.
All right,
you'll get it all over the bed.
I'm gonna read them.
No.
Okay.
What story? I'm gonna come all the way over there and just like give you a jar yourself. Be like, here.
I'm gonna put you all on mute so I can read. Okay, are you ready?
No.
Here we go. Card number 1 is lose weight and feel great with the all-new CLAMonaise diet. It's just CLAMonaise and this one is ew. That's right. We put blank in mayonnaise. Oh boy, all of these cards are so terrible. When I think of CLAMonaise, I think about, and so okay. So which one?
Clam discharge.
Which one do you guys want me to read? Okay, here we go. I'm gonna, because I have to put like these ones into one of these. So here we go. This will be card number 1 and card number 2 and card number 3. And so, Ion, do you have the timer? This is what we're voting on tonight. Card number 1 is to lose weight and feel great with the all-new CLAMonaise. It's just CLAMonaise and so that's card number 1. Card number 2 is, that's right, we put the blank in mayonnaise, or we put blank in mayonnaise. And then number 3 is, when I think of CLAMonaise, I think about blank. So, audience, Ion, start the timer. And audience, please vote if you want me to pair this up with cards 1, 2, or 3. The white cards.
I'm saying the best card for the last card that you just said would be 2 midgets shitting in a bucket.
Ew, no.
That's an actual card from Cards Against Humanity.
No, so bad. No.
When I think of CLAMonaise, I think of blank.
Miley Cyrus.
Also a good card.
You didn't even have to think about that one.
3, 2, 1, and go.
Honestly, this is the only way I can maintain an erection.
I'm sorry, Morbid.
Oh no, I don't even know. Wow, okay.
There's still just a little bit of the sauce stuck on this card packet.
You're all bad people and you should all feel bad.
Just like
we're all going to hell, and so we all just need to be ready for Fairy HellCon 2023, okay?
Fairy HellCon?
Hold on. I've already been to hell. I tasted CLAMonaise.
This is what they serve.
Touche.
I mean, of all the things we've tasted on this show, that was hands down the worst. Oh man.
Time's up.
Ooh. Oh, okay, time's up. So we have one.
Someone made a great comment about how I came in with like a wrecking ball. That was great.
We have 3 votes for 1 and 2 votes for 2. So number 1 is the lose weight and feel great with the all new CLAMonaise diet. It's just CLAMonaise CLAMonaise. No! All right. Lose weight and feel great with the
More
all-new CLAMonaise diet. It's just, wow. CLAMonaise and...
Why are people food?
It's just
Yes,
CLAMonaise. It's just CLAMonaise and eating shellfish in defiance of God's will.
That is what CLAMonaise is.
Yes. CLAMonaise, the definition of defiance of God's will.
Let's see. So lose weight and feel great with the all-new CLAMonaise diet. It's just CLAMonaise and
cramps.
This kind of clam. Yep.
Aren't those called something inappropriate that I can't remember?
You could.
Are you sure they just don't bring up things that are inappropriate?
They're also called something.
No, I'll Google it.
You could cycle through the setup cards.
what? Are you talking to me?
Well, yes, there's a lot more answer cards than there are setup cards, right?
Yeah. I mean, I could, I guess. That's right. We put just the right amount of mayonnaise in mayonnaise.
Oh, it's still so horrible. It's coming back up and it tastes worse than when it went down.
When I think of CLAMonaise, I think about
just out of curiosity.
Well, that goes with what you've been saying, Phoenix, about what it is. Oh my land.
Let's see. When I think about CLAMonaise, I think about force-feeding mayonnaise to Tom Holland. I don't know who Tom Holland is.
Apparently someone who likes being force-fed CLAMonaise.
First off, when you do that, it's called a hollandaise sauce.
Oh, that was bad.
That makes it a sticky situation.
Let's see. Let's see. Lose weight and feel great with the all-new CLAMonaise. It's just CLAMonaise and sodium benzoate to preserve freshness. Nope, gross.
This freshness was not preserved.
That's right. We put cholesterol in mayonnaise.
I mean, yeah, that's literally all it is.
I think Flora is showing off her pillows.
When I think of CLAMonaise, I think about keeping it smooth and creamy.
I mean,
This
at least it's not chunky.
Oh.
Princess Lolly, what did you win with your card?
I got a Cause Climate Catastrophe pack.
I got a bumper sticker that should not be my bumper sticker because we already discussed earlier that I do not partake in the clam. It is a bumper sticker that says "Eat my clam." Hey Flora, you have a car, don't you?
I do have a car.
Don't you? Would you like a bumper sticker, Flora?
Of course, I want a bumper sticker.
Eat my clam.
Eat my clam.
Lose weight and feel great with the all-new CLAMonaise diet. It's just CLAMonaise and a garbage bag full of mayonnaise. I feel like puking. Let's see.
Just mayonnaise, and more mayonnaise.
Let's see. That's right. We put sneaking 700 steamed clams into a movie theater in mayonnaise. Ew.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Let's
That would
see.
be so funny.
When I think of CLAMonaise, I think about some kind of mayonnaise packet.
Deus Espírito Somede. Just puts the mayonnaise on a little bit. Oh, it must be a devil child. No, it's just CLAMonaise. It's
Put the CLAMonaise
on
the
the skin.
skin.
It irritates the skin.
Put the CLAMonaise on the skin.
It's clammy.
No.
Yes. Let's see.
How else are you going to keep your oyster moister?
With the bumper sticker that says "Eat my clam."
Wow. Lose weight and feel great with the all-new CLAMonaise diet. It's just CLAMonaise and knife clam, the clam that stabs.
Instead of the CLAMonaise.
It's just knife clam. You just open it and you just get stabbed. You're like,
it wasn't bad enough.
Okay, let's see. Oh, wow, what? No, why do I have to read this? That's right. We put the remarkable effectiveness of mayonnaise as a sexual lubricant in mayonnaise.
Clam discharge. I told you it was real.
No.
I've been saying that for the last 3 episodes, and it turns out to be right.
Oh no, this is even worse. When I think about CLAMonaise, I think about my beautiful daughter, Salmonella. Let's see. Lose weight and feel great with the all-new CLAMonaise diet. It's just CLAMonaise and Dr. Mayonnaise, the doctor who injects his patients with mayonnaise. Ugh.
The worst doctor.
That's right. We put the all-new Clam Witch, only at Subway, in mayonnaise.
In the
That's right. When I think of CLAMonaise, I think about the United States Strategic Mayonnaise Reserve.
Appropriate.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Lose weight and feel great with the all-new CLAMonaise diet. It's just CLAMonaise and my clam father. No,
poor clam father.
No, there's no good there. No good at all.
Waited in his prime.
That just sounds so wrong.
That's right. We put the sexual possibilities of coleslaw in mayonnaise.
No.
I just want to clarify, there are no sexual possibilities for coleslaw. It's cabbage, okay? Nobody wants your muff is cabbage. Come on now.
Your muff is cabbage.
Your muff is cabbage.
When I think of CLAMonaise, I think about Tucker Carlson debating a clam on live television. Let's see. Lose weight and feel great with the all-new CLAMonaise diet. It's just CLAMonaise and sticking a tube up a
Collected mayonnaise.
No. No. All the no. No, thank you.
That's right. We put not having sex with a clam under any circumstances, no matter how sexy it looks, in mayonnaise.
In mayonnaise.
That's right.
Why do I feel like there's just a clam walking down Sprague now?
With just like high heels and fishnets.
Yeah, fishnets, and then it's got the clam, like the red lipstick, the typical hooker whore red lipstick. Yeah.
You know you want this clam.
You couldn't afford it, honey.
You couldn't afford it.
When I think of CLAMonaise, I think about not even knowing what's happening anymore.
That's about right.
Pretty much sums up the show.
Yeah, sums up tonight's episode. Someone got in late. They're like, what's going on? They're reading cards. I don't get this. What's CLAMonaise?
It's cards against CLAManity. Okay, lose weight and feel great with the all-new CLAMonaise diet. It's just CLAMonaise and
life is hard.
A perfectly normal rim job that doesn't involve clams or mayonnaise in any way.
Perfectly normal.
Okay, by the way, quick PSA. Quick PSA. Do not use clam mayo as a sexual lubricant because you could get chlamydia.
Chlamydia, yes.
That was well done. Well done, Morbid.
That was a long walk, but it was worth it.
You got there.
That's right. We put mayonnaise in mayonnaise. All right, Phoenix, it's your turn. What do your cards say?
All the same thing.
Oh, they really do? Dang,
Yes.
we didn't even get different card packs?
Well, no, I'm pretty sure that was the whole point, is that it's going to be all the same packets. Their new clam edition, you know. Although I would say that one of my favorite ones is definitely that the card that says "this kind of clam," and it's just got that long tube feeder.
That's a gooey duck.
Yes, the gooey duck.
So gross. Oh yeah, yes, that kind of. Woo! Thanks for making sure that we were all very clear on what kind of clam was being. Oh man! Oh,
I closed the jar and it still smells in here.
I know. I feel like it's gonna be a smell that's in my nostrils forever.
Good thing I've got incense that can overpower this. Thank you, Namchapa, for not knowing that you're supporting this video tonight.
That was truly, absolutely disgusting.
So we've joked about it a lot, but this really does feel like a moment where washing this down with a Baby Bell margarita would be better.
I will take the Baby Bell right now. Yes, not only because I think the drink itself might taste better, but the alcohol might make me forget.
Yeah, like you would willingly drink a Baby Bell margarita right now.
That was. I would rather have the chunks than the creamy consistency that just swallowed down my gullet, because that was no.
So many gross things.
Hey, look, everybody, fall back on the bell.
Creamy consistency tonight's magic word.
There's always next week.
Okay, so
can we just have a peanut butter producer on the show next week, so that we have a purposeful reason to use the magic word?
Then I'd have to you'd have to come up with something about nuts.
No, we could do that too. Yeah. My peanuts bring all the boys to the yard.
Whew. Okay, it is 9:38. That takes us past our normal time.
So tired.
I just want to let all of you guys know. So this weekend is coming up is Oddmall Merry Creepsmas. That's in Monroe, Washington, and we will be there on Sunday to film an episode of Handmade Home Shopping. So I look forward to seeing several of you vendors out there on Sunday. And then I guess with all of that said, that really kind of just a little reminder that we do have this month's special, which is if you subscribe or upgrade on our Patreon, you will get a hand-painted little mini fairy portrait. These are made by one of our vendors, Rainy Day Grace. And also a little reminder of the invite to the Faesgiving Cornucopia on November 19th. That is Saturday. And you can find the links for that for the Facebook, excuse me, the CLAMonaise, the Facebook event. Below in
that
the low
burp's not going to go away for a while, Lolly.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's just disgusting. And then with that said, remember after the show to go ahead and get the magic word into the comments. So yes, the magic word being the framing of the shrew.
Framing of the shrew.
Yes, so that you guys can be entered to win one of the 2 drawings for books next week. And I guess that's everything. Is Count Morbid's here. Do you want to do your line, Count Morbid, or are you gonna delegate it to somebody?
I did a great job.
I haven't done it yet.
Oh.
I want to do it. It came back too soon.
Clam away.
Hello and welcome to FAE Productions. We hope you enjoyed our show with your host, Fairy Princess Ollie. Please hit the like and subscribe button if you had fun with our FAE crew. Don't forget to click that little bell icon to get notifications of upcoming shows. And if you're looking to support your fellow FAE, fly on over to our Patreon, links below.